Hey there, welcome. All right, everyone here, it's Justin Fox from Backers. I'm here with Utukuri with Vizetto and the Reactive Suite app. Thanks for joining me.
Good to see you again, buddy.
Awesome. So we'll just do a quick little update on what's kind of going on. Obviously, those that are interested in potentially investing in Vizetto and the Reactive Suite on the Backers platform, love to give them an update on what's happening with Vizetto as a company and obviously with the push or the launch of the Reactive Suite. So let's jump in. Where you were at a pretty interesting event this past weekend. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and how things are going?
Yeah, no, I was honored and thrilled. Jeff Pulver from the Vaughn Collective there introduced me to the whole network. I was in New York talking about future of remote work. So if you guys don't know Jeff, I think he's a founder and CEO for Vonage back in the day. So lots of background in telecommunications and whatnot. And really, it was a great chat about what is remote work, what's the future of it. Are people going to come back? Why are employers asking employees to come back? Is it a productivity issue? And it's always been about engagement, right? Like, it's about feeling like you're a connected part of the network, getting to know people. And there's a lot of challenges with all that.
Right. So just for those watching, so Jeff Pulver is, I guess you said founder, CEO, maybe not currently, but of Vonage, which was sort of one of the sort of the OGs in the VoIP or voice over IP space, right, back in the day. As you said, maybe they were, we don't know the exact, but possibly bought out or something along those lines. So that's kind of interesting. So and what was the consensus there? It's an interesting topic. I look at my wife. She's kind of in that sort of transitionary space. Sometimes a bit of a hybrid role. Some people are in the office, some people are working from home. There's definitely, with COVID, obviously, it's opened up a lot of people's eyes as to what's possible from home, right? It was very much, 100% in the office. Very few, employers allowed kind of work from home, because they weren't sure how to do it. But obviously, with COVID and being forced, a lot of companies were forced to accept some of these technologies. So, what is the consensus of where people, or where do you think people see things going? Like, what are people talking about in those spheres of influence, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's never going to go back to the same, but there are challenges, right? Like,
Right.
I think remote teams are great at lots of things, but building building on new ideas and feeling like you're contributing, or feeling like that the work that you did was being recognized. How does that happen when also like mentorship? Like, what'll happen if there's this water cooler conversation and, hey, Justin, you should join this meeting today, right?
Right.
I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and suddenly you pipe in and say, well, I had this idea or that thought or I had this experience. Why don't you just come on in and join today, right? Like, we've got this person in from outside the country, or a client came in, and like, there's a lot of that type of conversations that don't happen. But I also think that remote work is suffering because everything gets compressed into a slide deck, and the slide deck kind of hijacks your meeting. It just goes full screen, you disappear, right? There's no balance. Like, people don't feel like what happens is, it's called associative memory. They need to associate you with your work and your presentation. And when the slide deck just gets emailed, or you just present and you turn your camera off, associative memory disappears. Now, right. I don't know, Justin did that work, or this was Justin's idea. There's a lot of challenges with that.
It's interesting, yeah, because obviously, if you're standing up at the front of the room, in person presenting, I mean, you're front and center, and obviously, the presentation's kind of behind you, off to the side, or even just maybe in front of their, if it's paper form, right?
Presentation, because if they remember something else, then they're not remembering me. It's actually important for my career for them to remember me.
Right. It's interesting. So you're kind of, as you said, dissociating the content from the individual, right? So so obviously that's part of what reactive is all about, is creating that I guess reassociating the presenter, or putting the presenter front and center of the presentation, which and not just from the recognition standpoint, but also just from the memorable, or kind of tying it to a person. People like to tie to a story or an individual rather than just numbers or words on a page, right? So that's, that's obviously the key. So, and that's almost a bit of a, I guess, a bit of a, what would you call it, a transition into reactive, which is the app that you've built. Why don't you tell us a little bit about reactive, maybe quickly, and then and your mic was a little bit muffled there, so maybe I don't know if you can move a little closer, or if you're, but oh, you got the auto, you got the AI on the camera there, the auto move
Yeah,
there,
the auto move.
auto sense.
Hold on. Hold on, I just switched microphone. Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better. But why don't you tell us a little bit about what reactive is? Those that are looking, obviously it's we're raising capital for reactive or for Vizetto on the backers platform. So if people are interested, they can obviously invest as little as $100 in Vizetto in the company, and receive equity or shares in Vizetto. And Vizetto obviously has launched the reactive suite. Tell us a little bit about reactive and what we can expect in the near future.
Yeah. So reactive is really this presentation layer. Think about it like it's the stage for your Zoom meeting. Zoom basically says, here's your seat. We're all sitting in the same room. Hey, you could be staring at that corner. You could be staring at the wall. It doesn't really matter. Generally, as you pointed out, people have to stand up.
Could be right? all like this, cameras off, just
exactly.
You kind of,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you can give me screen sharing.
Yeah. Oh.
Right. So what reactive does is it actually is your stage. It's your performance. It's your ability to go ahead and stand up and stand out. So if you can see my screen now, what I'm doing now is I am now front and center because I'm the presenter, and I have the ability to put my piece of paper on a glass table in front of us. I can resize it, do all of that. And basically, if I'm presenting, this is the associative memory that we spoke about, right? I want to associate my presentation, my information with this visual. I have my brand right in front center, and 90% of engagement is me. So what you're looking at is you're looking at the deck and the content that I can point to, I can highlight, I can, bring front and center.
Right.
So, and this is called reinforcement learning. When I just say it's 46%, it's 60%, it's 72%, I can see your eyes. They're all over the place. But when I say, look, this stat is 46%.
Yeah, you hone right in on it.
It's important that you realize that this 69% can go to 70% like this. It's called reinforcement learning. You're listening, reading, hearing, seeing, all at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's amazing. And it really, that's obviously, talking about, remote meetings. Now you've taken that individual and put them back front and center of the meeting. So not only the disassociation, but also just the memorability of it, or the ability to draw their attention into certain aspects of the content, right?
And also from that meeting point of view, it doesn't matter if it's a contract. Like, what they say, never send something out without legs. I don't know if you've ever heard that term, right? Go present your statement of work, like in live. Go show your contract. Can I drop by your office in order to walk you through? Because you never know if people are misunderstanding context, right? So I have the ability to going, okay, Justin, you can pick this option or this option. Just scratch something out if you don't want it and fill this in. I left it blank intentionally, right? You got the ability to go do that. So it really doesn't matter what type of content, but whether it be, a doctor giving that bedside manner. Look, my son is in California. He wants to join the call and clearly understand what the procedure is all about. Well, I want to bring that in-person experience. Like right now, you as the dad, I can show you the x-ray, but my son has no idea what I'm pointing to. So this is the procedure. We're going to go in this way. The pin will be inserted here, and we're going to go do that. Like there's an incredible amount of value to that visual learning. And when that's removed from a remote meeting, it's astounding as to how the attention, everything drops off. We're just not realizing that. Yeah.
So the use case is obviously in two examples there are kind of endless. You just gave, two very different perspectives. One's a contract or a sales type meeting. The other one would be a physician dealing with patients. And obviously the way the world's moving today, everyone's at all ends of the earth, right? Essentially, you want to bring in the daughter and the son and and everyone into the conversation. This allows people to be a part of it, right, in a much more meaningful way. Interesting. Okay, so what I know you were talking maybe like a release or imminent. I'd love to.
18 months of beta, 50,000 hours, 2,000 people giving us all sorts of feedback. We're ready. We're ready to launch.
Okay. So can we announce that the launch of Reactive is
within the next few days? I mean,
we're
just buttoning up a couple more things. It's going to be this month, but we're going to do a soft launch and get it out to the hundreds of people who've been waiting. There's a phased approach, and it's going to go live on the website. Then we're going to start, getting it out there. We have a media campaign going out there, and there's going to be some fun things we're doing with it.
Perfect. Well, stay tuned for that. Then we're going to be back on, I think, on Thursday, right? So maybe that a couple of days, and we'll keep kind of pushing that way. So that's great news. So I guess they can go to vizetto.com. They can check out. Is there a link there then to once it's ready live, they'll be able to download and they'll be able to access everything there. Perfect. Well, everyone, I guess that's kind of breaking news that we've gotten here. That Reactive is going to be launching imminently in the next few days. So, well, Av, I appreciate you joining me for this quick kind of update. We'll see you in a couple of days. Hopefully it's launched there. And is there anything else that you'd want to say to the folks? What are the top 3 reasons why they'd want to invest in Vizetto? Not to throw sort of, what would you think are you, obviously the leader of the team, Av? It's all about investing in people. What other reasons?
It is investing about people, but you know what? There's very rare opportunities to invest into a brand new platform that is, it's not every day that there's a lot of companies that are, hey, we are a CRM app for plumbers. Great business, but it's very narrow focused.
Right.
We literally are changing communication, and anybody who's on Zoom, which is over 1 billion people these days are on remote calls, can create a better experience. So it is foundational, it is transformative, and there's a lot of scope for it. And these type of companies, and somebody, one of our investors, the reason he invested, he said, you remind me of, I think you guys are going to be the Adobe for meetings, right? I'm like, wow, what a great compliment. But yes, we want to take meetings to that next level. We want people to look like broadcast quality. So the opportunity for that is limitless, and it's billions of dollars in value are going to be created by companies like us.
Right. Yeah, no, that's great. So be sure to check them out on the backers portal, where you can invest as little as $100, as much as $2,500. And Ab, appreciate it. I'll see you in a couple of days then.